Chat is presented by Botano. The game starts now. Here are your hosts, Brent Wallace, Jason York, and Bobby Ryan.
Good Monday afternoon, everybody. Brent Wallace alongside the smartest man in hockey, Jason York, who can't work his AirPods, and Bobby Ryan, everybody's favorite right winger. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Hello. I was wondering if I was gonna get any kind of intro after the smartest man in hockey. So I'm glad.
It was on the fly. Yeah, it's
great. Yeah, great follow up off the cuff.
Right.
Yeah.
We need a handle for Bob. Bob needs a handle.
So a self-proclaimed best-looking third.
We got smartest man in hockey, JP Bitterman, and we need one for you.
Listen, we'll just get to the show because Mark Stone's waiting, and I don't want to make him wait anymore. So before we get underway, everything is good, right, with you two? I guess you're all just golfing and living life.
You got
it.
Oh, never mind. We're bringing Mark Stone in now.
There he is.
Speaking
of
of living life.
Well, I'm good. How are you?
Good, man. Nice to see you.
Good to see you too.
Hey, congrats on. I know you've heard this a lot, probably, and it never gets old. But congrats on.
No, it does not.
My friend.
You can tell me as many times as you want.
So, before we get to your summer and everything else, I came across this video yesterday, and I just want to ask what the feeling is like when you came off the ice and went into the locker room. Do you even remember, probably being on cloud nine, of this particular video of the champagne shower?
Yeah, it's probably the most electric 10 seconds of my life. My eyes were burning pretty bad though after. They were pretty red. Looked like I had smoked four joints after that one.
You guys weren't prepared like the basketball teams with the goggles and the baseball teams after they win in one round.
Yeah, no kidding. They had them in there. Few guys had them, but I think we wanted to show our toughness and resiliency. You know, don't put the goggles on.
Fair enough.
It is the best. That might be one of the best videos I've seen in a long, long time of celebrating a Stanley Cup victory.
That was great. It was probably the funnest time is celebrating the locker room. It's fun going out and all, and everyone telling you how good you are, but the locker room was the best for sure.
What time did you guys get out of the locker room that night?
So actually the TV schedule worked out for us, right? It's 5 o'clock we started. So the game was done around, I give or take 8, probably off the ice at 9. So we probably had it in there for probably like 9 to 1. So we were pretty good. We had like 3-4 hours in there. It was awesome.
That is awesome.
What happened to your gear after? Did you wash it or is it gone?
No, I got it. It's actually tearing out right now. Could use a little sun. It was when it got back to me, probably start of this month. It was still pretty sticky. I think they gave it a few good washes, but it was still pretty sticky.
That's great. The other thing I came across, it just showed up recently, is in the team photo and the video is Ivan Barbashev.
Yeah. I think he forgot he played for Vegas, not St. Louis.
So for those who don't know, Ivan Barbashev is holding up 2 fingers because he has won 2 Stanley Cups because he won with St. Louis. But everybody else is like, hey, Ivan, where's our first one here?
I think he's looking. I'm not gonna quote him, but I think he's looking for Petro to see what Petro's doing. And then when Petro just had the 1, he's like, shit, I better go 1. We had a couple guys that could go 3. Like Quickie, Phil, those guys, they could have gone 3 if they wanted.
Oh, yeah.
They're all 1.
Martinez.
Right.
Martinez, yeah.
Where did you go out on the strip after that night? Did you take the cup everywhere?
Yeah, we did. We had like a and Bob, you stayed there at the Aria. We had like their nightclub that was closed, but they had it like just for us and families. So they had that open till about 3 o'clock, and then we went to Caesars till about 5:30.
Oh,
and we thought a bunch of guys went to O'Connor's after, a local pub. But I was ready to. I knew we were in for a long week, so I called it early and got ready for the week ahead.
Yeah, you can't blow it out of water on night 1.
Cool.
You gotta.
So every team's got their guys that kind of are in the know, like the guys that are in charge. You guys have like a little couple of guys that are the planning committee for that, or do you take that undertaking on yourself?
So when Reeves got traded, that was a tough blow for us. He was pretty good at organizing everything, but Honestly, I think that the organization had everything lined up pretty good for us. They wanted to keep that all out of our heads, and once we won, it was pretty easy, and people wanted us there, right? So it wasn't too hard to plan something. We had a couple nights with the guys, a couple nights with the families. Our owner took us out to his ranch on I want to say it was Thursday night to Friday night. We partied up at his ranch, just the families, which was awesome. Get away from, usually when teams win, they go to Vegas. We were getting away from Vegas, and then we came back for the parade. So everything was kind of planned for us, which was nice.
Was that up in Montana?
In Montana, yeah.
You guys went up to Anaconda?
Yeah, we flew, well, it's close to like Bozeman, I think, is the closest airport, but
yeah,
he's got a little thing, so he flew us on all his planes in there, so we were right there.
Yeah, I've been to that Rock Creek Cattle Company there, and and then actually a really good golf course, Old Works, is in Anaconda. It's a Jack Nicklaus public course, but that's like 4 hours from where I live, so I would jet down on the weekends from time to time. What a spot! Yeah,
it's great. It's kind of like it's hard to explain. For us, it's like paradise. It's like our Disneyland, I guess you could per se.
Absolutely. Yeah. You go through that little metal gate and then you got another 10 miles of just dirt, trash, gravel. You're like, are we going anywhere? And then it's crazy. Crazy.
Yeah, it's fun. You do like the ATV, stuff like that. You can kind of see some stuff. He takes us there every year at the start of the season, kind of as our team bonding trip.
That's huge.
It's awesome. It's just, you land, dinner's at 8, do whatever the hell you want till 8, and then wake up the next day, dinner's at 8 again, do whatever the hell you want till 8, and then we're flying out, and we got preseason game the next night, so we better be good. And we're never good. We're never good.
That's like when they took us to the Rock and we all went to Dion for no.
Oh yeah, I didn't play in that game. I showed up 2 minutes late and it was 4-0.
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I was. I didn't play in that game either. I didn't even bring my equipment on that trip. So I was like, I'm here for one thing only.
It was a good time though.
Golf.
Where was Dion's place? PI, right?
Yeah.
PI, yeah.
Yeah, Peugeot was a -5. He gave all the big guy, and then Dion had to play, but he gave a bunch of us the night off or whatever. I remember sitting there with Stone or Carl, a couple other guys, and it was like 7-1, and we were like, it's not going to be a pretty day tomorrow.
When the bus times home from dinner were 12-2, you knew we probably weren't going to play that well.
Yeah, it was a tough start. I was shucking oysters all night long. What a time.
Doesn't Dion have a rotating garage car lift thing?
I mean, his place was incredible. He had his gym up on top of his garage. And then he had his bar off to the side. It was like in through the gym, into the bar, into your car, off to the golf course. It seemed like it was a compound, and it was the way to describe it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's well set up. Couple other questions, and we'll get on to your summer. But did you break your wrist in Game 5?
Yeah, I did.
Nonchalantly.
Well, I knew something was wrong. He was on the power play. He just got whacked by Montour, and I kind of went to the bench like, oh, it doesn't feel great. And then he kind of stayed in the game. Momentum, or I guess he kind of got that energy, adrenaline going. And once the period ended, I went into the room and I'm like, oh my God, I can't move this thing. But sounds terrible, but in my head, all I could think of is, we're gonna win. I gotta hoist this trophy, and if I can't do it, it's gonna be super embarrassing. So I went into the room, and they shot me up, and fortunately, I only had to do it for one game. Kind of got it done, but yeah, it's it sounds like heroic, but I didn't feel anything, so I felt normal.
Yeah. Was it a microfracture?
Yeah.
You remember that in 2015?
Montreal fans, I got the last laugh now.
Well said.
So good.
They beat us, but we got it done. We got it done 2 years later.
Yeah. So, do you expect to ever pay for a meal in Vegas again?
That's a good question. I don't think we're quite there yet. If we can ring it back this year, I think we'd be getting close to that territory. For me, I want to want to see if I can get my name at that Shadow Creek golf course. See if I can be a legend there. But that one's even harder. So,
well, you do get free lap dances for life, don't you?
Yeah, that was some pretty good jokes. We thought about, man, maybe we should just go in there and test it out. See if they're actually going to follow through on it. Yeah, we're here for the next 24 hours, boys. Let's see how it goes.
Somebody's got to go.
We'll send some of the young guys who don't have.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying.
Tread lightly.
Finally, before we get to your day with the Cup, Phil Kessel's day with the Cup. I don't think you were there. I don't know if you were there. Have you seen this photo of him with the hot dogs in the cup?
Was that this? That might have been a couple of years ago.
See, I don't think it's it's this year. So did he chill out this year and just do it quietly?
He did it in Toronto again. It's unfortunate for Phil. He was super excited to do it at his house in Florida, but his house was part of the hurricane. So he was doing so much like renovations with everything. So he couldn't take it back. And his parents and all his family, there's not a ton of people back in Wisconsin. So he took it to and did like he called it like a Cupcella for his daughter's birthday, which was pretty cool.
Oh, very nice.
Hey, Stone, are you everybody was talking about Phil, but when I was with you the other day and we were playing golf, you said something to me about how important Phil was to the team. Like he meant a lot. Like he did a lot of things off the ice for you guys, eh?
Oh yeah. I mean, from the second he walks in the door, someone's yapping at him, and from the second he leaves the door, someone's yapping at him. It's incredible. And he pretends he doesn't like it, but he loves it. When he walks in the door, he's like, okay, let's go. Who am I going after next? Who's coming at me? He's had an incredible element. He's got like God, what was my quote about him? He's got a perfect amount of positiveness and crankiness, I guess. Nothing's ever good enough, it seems like, but it's in like a good way,
God, I've known that guy since we were 14 years old, and that's the same story since he was 14 years old. Yeah, that is absolutely Phil to a T.
It's incredible. He puts a smile on your face because of his negativity. It's like like he's not serious. It's hilarious.
You can't take him seriously. But then,
Bobby, I had him. I told Stoner I had him in his first year when he was a rookie in Boston. Very first road trip. Right to the back of the plane like he owns it, right into the card game, getting chirped by the coaches. He's yelling at the coaches, and we let him in the game. Pretty good card player, I'll say, though.
Yeah, he's a good card player. I played him this year. He did all right this year, I'll say that. He did all right.
Yeah, he's not bad.
Do you guys still play poker on your plane, or are you guys into the schnarps and all the other stuff?
No, we don't have enough guys to play. We had like a 5-man group, so we play 13 up, 13 down, and I was kind of a fill-in guy when one of the guys who got hurt, and then I was hurt for the most of the season. So
you weren't filling in much, were you?
I wasn't filling in. Yeah, I was getting filled in for. So, but yeah, it was a good group of guys. Marcia is good with the book, and McNabb's a big player. Ikes is a good donator. It's a good group.
Nice.
Your day with the Cup. Well, I think you've had a few days, if I'm not mistaken. So you took it to Winnipeg, your hometown, but you've also had it in Ottawa. Did you not? Did you work some magic?
No, I didn't have it here. Actually, the first thing that was cool about was at the day we won was 4 or 5, whatever in the morning. And Phil, the keeper of the Cup, says, "You let me know when you want to leave." And I'm like, "Okay, why?" He goes, "Well, you got to take it home tonight." I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's kind of cool." So I got to take it home that night. Then I had a day and a half in Winnipeg, so I was able to do my own thing, visit some of the local spots, and then the next day I got to go to the Children's Hospital in Winnipeg, which was pretty cool also.
You did, yeah. We saw some of the video.
Very nice.
So how much planning did you put into, like, as soon as you win, you like, what am I going to do with my day with the Cup?
Yeah, so actually reached out to a few people in Winnipeg who plan weddings and just got some help. Makes it a lot easier, scheduling things, setting things up. So just got a wedding planner. She was great. She helped out. Everything went super smooth. Had the van for the day. And then the next day, the boys had to get the Cup out of town by 5, so we were able to get to the Children's Hospital around 1 and do some cool stuff there as well.
Did you eat anything out of it?
I actually didn't know.
Okay, good.
We actually regret, like, my family's a big Slurpee family, so I actually regret not putting a little bit of Slurpee in there, but we had enough drinks out of it.
Did you
out of it for sure?
Did you want to take it to Brady's wedding?
No, I would have got the shit kicked out of me. I was already on edge.
So that leads into how, like, what was that like when you and Matthew, I know you know each other very well, and obviously you and Brady are close. What was it like at that weekend?
Honestly, it was never really brought up. Other than Big Walt likes to throw a few jabs at his own kids, so he made sure to bring it up. But it was great. Honestly, it was one of the most fun weekends of the summer. We were actually in Miami a couple weekends before with that same crew of guys. So we saw each other a couple times this summer. It was awesome. But like you said, it's just respect, right? I respect their family so much. I did something for Brady, and they've been passing it on ever since. Their family's so generous with everything. So it's been awesome. Awesome to get to know everybody there too. I didn't know his sister as well either. So you kind of get to know the whole family. It's awesome.
What did Walt say?
What
I
did
need one-liner.
He was chirping him pretty good for the on my goal in game one. When he kind of flipped it and turned it over, that's he was giving it to him pretty good there. He's always laughing though, it's always always laughing with those guys. They get over things pretty quick. That's why they're so good.
Yes,
God.
they are.
That's
so, did you perhaps go tarps off at any point at Brady's wedding, much like he did at yours?
Bob can attest to this. I don't take my shirt off too often.
Stoner and I are on the same. Stoner and I were always on the same page here. we
I always think to myself, what if I get caught with a picture with my shirt off, the Vegas fans would be like, "That's who we got leading the charge here." So no, mine stays glued on pretty tight.
It could be 105 and there'll be two shirts at the party. It'll be Stoner and Bobby.
Don't want that sunburn. We're a hoodie.
I lost my train of thought about Brady's wedding, but what was, when you hear, I guess, Mr. Brightside, do you roll your eyes? What is it when you think of when you hear that song? Are you tired of it?
No, the first time I think it was myself, Brady, Smitty, Cease. Maybe one other guy. It was his 19th birthday the first year in training camp. We didn't play in one of the games, and we were at the green room in downtown, and there was maybe 12 people there, and we did karaoke to Mr. Brightside. And right then I was like, okay, this guy loves this song. But he's been doing it ever since. He did it at my wedding. He did it at this wedding. He did it a couple times. He did it at the rehearsal dinner too. He just gets buzzing when that comes on. But no, he likes to have a good time, and
what a beauty.
He brings a smile to everyone's face.
It's so good. Okay, I'm gonna move around here, but I want to get to some Sens stuff. But before that, you continue, since you've been in your first full season in the league, 2014-15. You've dominated in takeaways, as everybody's well aware of. And I just looked at, like, the number of games compared to the number of takeaways for you from in the league is wild to me. And then, of course, you add that in with the hits. Like, it's been a full machine.
For hits too, eh? Wow.
Yes. That's not, like,
on the waiter on.
Yeah. So
I wonder I had 2 back surgeries.
I was going to wait till the end to get to that. This leads me to your very first ever Ottawa Senator game, which you're well aware of, is the playoffs for the New York Rangers. It's game 5. You assist on the game-winning goal, which is the first one by Jason Spezza. You also led the team in takeaways that game.
Really?
We should have known.
One?
You had 2.
2? I was going to say, I think I only played like 7 minutes.
You played the fewest minutes of anybody on the Sens at 8 something. And I'm curious, like, because Alfie was hurt, and then he went back in for game 6 and 7, and you didn't play again. Were you surprised that you didn't go back in based on just how well you played in your 8:28?
No. I don't think I was holding down what's the word for it? I don't think Alfie was going to stay out for me to keep playing at that point. I thought there was maybe a chance I was going to go back in for Game 7. I'm looking back on it. I mean, it sounds, like I said, it sounds kind of bad, but I'm glad I didn't because the moment was pretty big. I was actually, I felt overwhelmed even in that Game 5. It was, I still think about it. I felt outmatched. And at that point, I knew I had a long way to go because I'll be honest, I didn't feel like I belonged quite yet.
Really?
Yeah.
So what?
Yeah,
I
mean, it was.
What
it
was that
too
day
fast
like
for
for
me.
you?
Pretty nervous, obviously. They didn't really tell me that I was going to go until I got to the rink, which I think helped me a lot, right?
Yeah.
I didn't really do a ton to overthink things, but I was pretty nervous once stepping out for warm-ups, no doubt about that, because I think at 5 o'clock I knew I was going, and I was pretty damn nervous. Because I mean, I played maybe one exhibition game. I didn't even play any other games. To kind of look over, you see Lundqvist, you see, I think Gaborik was still playing. I mean, Rick Nash was there at the time, and just seeing all these guys that you kind of watch. And I hadn't even gone up against anyone really. I played one preseason game at the start of the season against Toronto when they probably had 6 guys in the lineup. So I was pretty nervous for sure.
Interesting. Yeah, I remember that game. I thought you played, and we're talking MSG here, which I don't know if that adds to it for you, but we all thought you played very, very well as in the media group. We were very surprised at how well you played, I guess. Yeah,
I mean, I think I could have gone one or two ways, right? I think, but for me, like I was sheltered pretty good too, which was nice. If I remember, I think the shift that we scored on, I think it was after a power play, so they knew I wasn't going to be out there against any of their top guys. I think they did a good job of sheltering me, so that helped. I don't think I had a shift in the third period either, which I was more than okay with. I think I was hiding in the corner.
Just trying to
please don't play out, Paul. Please.
It's very good. So about the back, is everything good?
As far as I know, I don't plan on doing any imaging because I don't want to know. I feel good. I'm excited to go into training camp. But like I said, I was excited to go into training camp last year as well. So it's like anything, you never know, but I feel great. I'm excited with where I'm at. Training's going well. Skating's going well. Symptoms are starting to go away, which didn't really go away after the first one. Usually it takes 6 to 12 months to get those away, and things are starting to go away, which is positive. And I'm excited to try and play full 82 game season because I haven't done it in quite some time.
Stoner, who took that video during the playoffs when you left the ice there? And that went viral. Do you remember that? There was a video of you leaving practice and it just took off and everyone's like, oh, what's up with Stone? Like, how much pain were you in at that time?
I popped a rib out in my shoulder blade, so it had nothing to do with my back. That's what was funny. I could see them doing it and everyone's like, oh, he's done. I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to play tomorrow, but just give me a day here. And fortunate it calmed down, so it had nothing to do with my lower back.
How did you pop a rib?
I don't know, just shooting, and it's just like the most minor thing. It just moves a little bit and
just shifts.
It just shifted on me, and probably because I was so focused on my lower half that I kind of stopped taking care of all the other muscles. I feel like now I'm at the rink for like 6 hours 2 hours to get warm, 2 hours to cool down. It's just, but it was funny. I don't know who took that, but it definitely put some focus on Edmonton to go after me, and I think that benefited us, you know.
Oh man, hey, I popped a rib before. For people that don't know, like I'm surprised you played that quickly because that's like being kind of stabbed, right? You feel it, and it's brutal.
Yeah, we got great medicine in our locker room.
I thought it was because you and I used the same trainer, and I look like $1 million, so I just assumed that was what it was.
Well, are you willing to take your shirt off? What?
No.
Tarps off for the broadcast.
No need for that.
No, yeah, Schwartzy's been good. It's been fun to get back in this summer and try and get some mobility back. It's been I'm a stiff guy, but try.
I found an article from an NHLPA story listing your favorite things or your first or whatever. It says something that's overrated is sour candy. Do you still stand by that statement?
Oh, absolutely. I guess goosebumps thinking about sour candy, just biting into it. Yeah, every time guys are eating Sour Patches and stuff like that, they offer me it. Brings the hairs up on my arms because it just I cringe.
Really?
Maybe I have sensitive teeth. I don't know.
Is chocolate still your favorite ice cream flavor?
Yes, chocolate's my favorite everything.
Oh, okay. Is Bugs Bunny your favorite cartoon growing up? Is that right?
I don't know if I really had one. Did I write Bugs Bunny?
You did.
Probably wrote that because Space Jam was my favorite movie.
Wow.
So,
and finally, out of this list, you said your preferred way to pass time on team flights is? Do you know?
Sitting there.
Podcasts.
Podcast. Yeah, well, it is now. Yeah, I got a bunch.
So I appreciate you always listening to ours. The one thing is I forgot was the day after you won the Cup final, I had just driving around my car and XM radio's on, I think the Hits channel, whatever. And they're mentioning Mark Stone and the Stanley Cup champion Vegas Golden Knights. I'm like, what's the cool? And I thought it was pretty neat just knowing you and how humble you are of now being everywhere. What's the coolest thing that's happened since you've won the Cup?
Well, being a big Nickelback fan,
love Nickelback.
Having those guys reach out, posting on their Instagram and signing a guitar for me, congratulating me. That's been probably my coolest so far.
I totally.
I know Nickelback's a 50-50 yes or no, but
yeah,
there's a few loyal listeners on our team.
I actually I saw them live in like Irvine way back when. I think I went with Lucas Spiza. The two of us were like, they're playing. It's a Tuesday night. What else are we going to do? So we went, and then we start looking around, and all those guys that probably trashed Nickelback or this. I'm like, is that Drew Doughty and Trevor Lewis? Brad Richardson? So we're all just staring at each other. We're like, yeah, we like them too.
That's the thing. It's like, I feel like everyone's scared to admit that they like them, but everybody likes them.
Yeah, everybody quietly likes them, and they were really, really good live. I will say that.
I saw them MSG live, one of my favorite shows of all time.
They were really awesome.
Yeah. I got a few of our boys say the same thing. They saw him in Vegas the first year, and they said it's the best concert they ever been to.
Yeah.
Yep. There. So yes, I forgot about that. I meant to have that in the show. I apologize.
That's all right.
That's pretty cool. Have you met any other celebs because of winning the Cup? Will you end up on like the Tonight Show or something?
I don't think so. Going on the Pat McAfee show is pretty cool. I love those guys.
Good.
We have one guy who's a huge fan of the team. He took on the Knights, so that's kind of how it came up. Ty, and then Pac-Man started wearing my jersey on the show during the Cup run. That was pretty surreal because Pac-Man Jones is a legend.
I assume you've seen the Center Ice logo that they just unveiled for your team this year. What are your thoughts? For those who don't know, it's supposed to look like the inside or looking down on top of the Stanley Cup bowl.
Oh, wow.
Interesting. I did not know that. I saw it. I mean, they do everything pretty cool at that rink.
Yes.
It's one of the funnest places to play. I'd have a hard time playing 41 times a year anywhere else. So, we're pretty lucky to get to play there. So it looks pretty cool, though. I mean,
it is cool. I wonder if that black is going to piss guys off, though, when you're passing through the neutral zone. I thought that when I saw it because it
lose the puck.
Yeah, just for a half second, but
I'm curious to see, like, what was it before? Because I would assume it would be the same, right?
It wasn't that different in a way. It kind of has the same glowy yellow to it. Listen, I'll try to dig it up, or I'll get Gavin to dig it up before we get off the show here.
Because I think that black was probably.
I think it was there.
Was it?
It might have been all right.
The league has to approve it. So,
fair.
Have you thought about the banner raising as a final question about the Cup final?
Yeah, I have, for sure. We started kind of scheduling our couple days before with the rings, getting our rings, getting the ring dinner, leading into that first practice. I guess it would be, I'm not sure the schedule. We play pretty early. I think we play on a Tuesday this year, so think our last preseason games maybe Saturday, so we don't have a ton of time in between, which is kind of nice. So we'll practice Monday and then Tuesday right into it. Kind of, it's like sad, right? Because in other sports they get to keep their trophy, and we kind of got to give it back, and you got to go and try and win it again. But that's why it's so special. But yeah, I'm pretty excited for that. We have the majority of our team coming back too, which is pretty rare, I think. And
there's very few
especially
change.
with the cap. Obviously, losing Smitty it's gonna be kind of sad that he can't be there with us. But and Phil looks like Phil Quickie, a couple other guys. But yeah, it'll be awesome. I think maybe 20 of us coming back, which is pretty rare.
Pretty impressive. Yeah.
Are you tired? Like, there's one thing they talk about is the cup team coming back because of all the off-ice activities and parties. Is there a concern? Have you had that chat with people about getting ready for the season?
Sorry, my computer's low battery on my head. Yes, especially there's a few of the cup parties are a little bit later right now that guys are doing them. And I know how much fun I had at mine and how little training I did during the week of mine. So there's a little bit of concern, but you know what? We got 3 weeks of training camp, so we should be all right.
That's it. Spoken like a player, throwback guy in the 90s right there. I love it.
I'm sure old Butchie will make sure that we get a nice hard training camp this year. Get us ready.
Yeah.
For those who don't know or want to know, in 30 minutes or 28 minutes at Frank Ryan Park in Ottawa, the Stanley Cup is there with your trainer, Kevin Muir.
Mike Muir?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
Mike Muir. Yeah.
So
we got a decent Ottawa connection, actually. Our strength coach
Ben Hutton
had it in Carp as well. Doug Davidson.
Yes, and Ben Hutton in Cornwall.
Yeah.
It's been neat. It's been around the city for a bit, so that's been pretty cool. What was it like to see your name on it?
Yeah, that was really neat. The fact that they did that, you get to, because I'm sure at cup parties, I'm sure guys are looking like, where's your name? Where's your name? You don't get to show your buddies. You get to see it usually before the banner raising, and that's it. So it was pretty cool to be able to show everybody that where we are. I think we had 27 players on this year with 4 goalies and 23 skaters, which I think is pretty high considering.
Yes, but good.
The first team to have 4 goalies.
Ottawa would have had 7 had they won this year. Speaking of playing with Ottawa, you and Bobby played some time together. I'm just curious if you have any stories that you have held that you'd like to share about one Bobby Ryan.
God, too many.
Yeah. there might be a couple.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have a ton.
No.
We went for a lot of early dinners. I know Bob used to like to beat the pot to see Meth's reaction on those. That was pretty fun.
Oh yeah.
Order the nicest steak, order the nicest bottle of wine, and just watch Meth's ears smoke come out of his ears. That was always fun. I don't know.
Sure you get dessert.
Meth loved his house cabs.
I don't know. Yeah, exactly. I don't have a ton. I mean, the rookie parties were always fun for us. The Vegas rookie party we had, what was that? 2018. That was a blast. We had some characters there.
Yeah.
We had one. I'm not going to name names. We had a guy who would get wheelchaired into his room, which was just one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
I was the wheelchair pusher. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. There was a relay of wheelchair pushers. I was just the finishing one that got stuck in that room for 45 minutes.
And we had Gabrick on our team, who was a real character.
Yeah.
And he, in a bad year, we had some guys that made that last couple of months pretty fun.
We absolutely did. I'll say off the ice and outside of hockey, I remember Stoner one time, and he asked me about stories the other day, and I was like, well, you got to keep it PG, obviously. But one time Stoner and I went to, and I don't know who we went to play with, but we went out to Eagle Creek. Is it Eagle Creek? Is that the name of it?
Oh yeah, Eagle Creek. Yeah.
Yeah. And Stoner shows up and opens his trunk and his golf clubs aren't in there. And he's like,
oh my God.
He's like, he forgot his golf clubs when we went golfing. So he's like, I guess I'll just rent, and then just proceeded to drop a 75 on everybody with rental clubs. Right. Like, I was like, come on, man.
I went straight to Golf Town and bought that driver.
Yeah. I remember, did you actually? I remember you saying, like, I love this thing.
I was like, wow, I've never hit this club straight or went straight to Golf Town. I think it was the M1 TaylorMade back in the day. It was like, yeah, straight to Golf Town, bought it. I do remember that.
I was like trying to buy it in the pro shop right out of the set. Can I just take this home with me?
It was like one of the better rounds I've ever played.
Oh, it was unbelievable. We were like, well, we got this guy's money today, and then just a quick 75, and then 18.
Didn't you just play with Yorkie the other day? Yorkie, how do you do? Is he still that good?
We were. I'll tell you this before Stoner answers. I was shit all day until the last 6 holes when Stoner and I were partners, and he saved our bacon on 18, birdied 18.
Yeah, so I was the only one that got paid. All 3 guys paid me, so I felt like a sandbagger. But I'm like, I shot 80, so like, I wasn't even saying. It was just everybody was bad, but the game we played. On the 6th hole, the 12th hole, and the 18th hole were big holes, and I think I birdied all 3.
Oh, that's all it takes. Yeah.
So it just the points just worked out for me. But
okay,
yeah, Yorkie and we had a good 18th hole.
A good 18th. Speaking of drivers, though, that driver you have is pretty sweet with the Vegas colors. What like that? He's got the Vegas Golden Knights golden driver, and you're just hammering that.
Yeah, that's actually a guy from Ottawa, Sean Mullins. Mullins is his name. He started a company called Accra, I think out of Kingston actually, and he ended up getting bought by True Temper. So he's the rep for True Temper online. He actually made the Hamburglar shaft when Hammy was going on that run. I don't know if you saw that one. I remember seeing that one, Bob.
I do. It
was pretty cool. So he made me a custom Knights one and sent it out to me, and then he just shipped me 30 custom Stanley Cup ones for everybody, which is awesome.
Wow, that's sweet. That's unreal.
Well, you'll have to show them when you get them.
One more golf thing, and this is I'll make fun of it. What's the hole at Royal Ottawa that's the drivable par 4? I think it's got like a tree on the right, but it's kind of a
10.
Yeah. So we're playing in that fucking charity tournament. I drove the green and made a 5.
Were you above the hole?
I was above the hole considerably. I blew it right past and then didn't get up and down. my chip coming back was like straight up the hill, and I was so mad that I putted off the green that I bladed the chip back up, and then I had to 2-putt from 30 feet to make a 5 after driving the green. I almost went home. It was like the 4th hole of the day. I almost called it a day.
I got home from our round on Wednesday, and I'm like, man, I actually thought I played pretty good. 80. I don't know. I got to count. I got to count again. I counted every single shot. I had 30. I think it was 38 putts.
Oh, that'll do it. Yeah.
I was just stick handling around the green.
Yeah. They punched the green. They punched the green. It's a little bumpy, so we'll use that as an excuse.
We'll use an excuse. We got a good one coming up here on Wednesday. Yorkie, Alfie, and Cease. We got a good one coming up Wednesday.
I like it.
Oh, yeah. Is it teams or is it individual?
It'll be teams this time.
Teams. Last time I think they were easing me in, so we did change partners every 6. That's why it mattered so much on the 6th hole, because we were doing automatic presses on those ones.
Oh, very good. I'm going to ask you about a couple of players. I know you don't like to, obviously teams don't like to talk about other teams, but one, you trained with Erik Karlsson. He's obviously your teammate at one point. He's now in the East. Are you okay with not seeing him play in San Jose anymore?
I mean, I like going up against him. It's always fun, right? We got a good little thing going. He beat us in the playoffs there. Was that 2019? So I liked to get to play against him in San Jose so I can get a little bit of payback. But I'm happy for him. I think everything he says. He wants to get back on a competitive team, and clearly San Jose is looking towards the future, and I think it's a good spot for him.
That 2017-18 Erik Karlsson, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the year it might be the year before
16-17. Yeah,
was he by far the best player on the ice?
For our team, every night he was, for sure. There's no doubt about that. I think there was probably a 3 or 4 year stretch where he was probably fighting to be considered the best player in the world, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there was games where, I mean, I think even in our playoff was going to be pretty short there against Boston. I think it was game 2 going into the third. He kind of put us on his back there, got us into overtime. Dion got a big win. If we don't win that game, if he doesn't do that, we're probably going home pretty early in that one.
Yeah.
Now he was been known to argue with a lot of teammates because he was just fiery. Did he ever have arguments with you about plays? Like I can remember him and I think it was Brassard and him and Meth, and there's a few guys obviously, but I'm just curious if you felt the wrath of Erik Karlsson.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I was okay with yapping back too, right? He definitely didn't scare me. But I mean, when I was young, I think the thing with him, right, is, and I think it's with all these the best players, they just expect that everybody can do what they can, right?
Yes.
It's just not accurate. So I think he's getting a little more understanding of that, right? Especially playing on a young team last year and having all that success. I think when he was there, he just thought everybody could do what he could do, and there was very few people on earth that could do what he could do. And that's why I think it's such a great situation for him to go play with, Sid, Gino, where he's got the guys that they can. It's going to be pretty interesting to see.
Yeah. It's going to be scary, actually. But I just don't know if they have enough pucks on the ice. That's the only thing but
it'll be interesting. The power play is has me curious, but
I agree.
That 5-on-5 when those guys are out there is going to be, they're going to love getting those passes from him.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on Brady Tkachuk going into what is his 6th year? I know you're very close, so I'm just curious what you think his game has evolved into. Is he a preeminent power forward in the game today?
Yeah, I mean, he's probably, as close to, that old school power forward type, right? You don't see him anymore. When he goes to the net and, he gets in those battles, no one really wants to fight him. He's so big, so strong. And I think that's how he kind of imposes his will, right? But, I think he's learning as it goes too, right? The team needs him on the ice. So there's times where you obviously, like the Trouba fight, that was awesome. Sparked the team. Those kind of things are great, but when he kind of gets losing control, he just fights for no reason. I think he's learning now that that's probably not the best thing for him. But I love when he gets in those kind of net front rivalries with those D-men and gets in those big fights, because it's, I think Ottawa's record when he does that, it's got to be good.
Yeah.
It's okay. Here's a question I don't know if you can answer. Do you think Ottawa is a playoff team in the East?
Yeah, I do. I really do. Obviously, a lot of those guys have never been, and you do have to learn, how to get there. And I think this year was good for them. They got close. The pressure got up, and they didn't handle it that great, right? I think they learned from that. I think you see like Carolina back in the day, those guys would get close and then they'd miss. So I think that they're at this stage now where, I think there's some teams that have regressed and they've progressed. So I see them in a great situation. They got a lot of guys signed for a long time, and they can grow together. So, and I've been skating with a lot of them. They're all really good people. Met a lot of them at Brady's wedding. I think they're ready. They're sick of losing. And I think they'll take that next step.
The team at Brady's wedding, or the group of players, could it beat any team in the National Hockey League that was assembled at that wedding?
No, they couldn't beat us. I don't know. There's a lot of.
Wow.
He's been to. I mean, when you play in the national program, right? You meet.
Yeah.
You become friends with a lot of those guys, the Hughes brothers. Josh was there. Robbie Thomas lived with his family, so they became really close. There was a ton of talent there, and it was fun. Those are the most fun weddings. Everyone has so much in common, and kind of let loose. Kind of get to know a lot of the different people from around the league.
It was very good. Stoner, I don't want to keep you any longer. Much appreciate you stopping by. I know it's been a busy summer, so thank you. We do wish you success, except when you maybe come to Ottawa or face the Sens.
I'm scoring at a good clip in my games here in Ottawa, so I'm going to try and keep that going.
There you go.
I always get a nice reaction from the fans, so I like coming back here.
You're so like you're among the players. You're one of them extremely well liked, and even in our live chat, people are like, "Can you come back? We want you to come back. Please come back." So at the end of your contract, listen, we just gave Claude Giroux a career year, so just something to think about when you may be signing your new deal after your Vegas one. Okay.
Unless they decide to kick me to the curb in Vegas, I'm going to try and play there the rest of my career, unfortunately.
I know. I'm just saying.
Well, fortunately, I should say.
Fair enough. Good luck this year. We wish you all the health and success again. So thank you for joining us, my friend.
Thank you, boys. Good seeing you, Bob.
See you Wednesday.
Yes. There goes Mark Stone, captain of the Stanley Cup champion, Vegas Golden Knights.
Nice try, Wally. Nice try trying to get him back for a little.
I just want to speak for the fans.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I got a lot of friends in the community. I grew up here. Every single person, when Mark Stone's name comes up, I'd say, you got Alfredson, you got Karl. Stoner's right there, though, with appreciation, love, and people here are smart. They know hockey, right? So they know smart player, good player, leader, good person, all the above.
He just does everything right.
Everything.
Yeah.
Hey, Bob, why do you think it's tough to ask Stoner because he's so humble? Why do you think he's so good at takeaways?
Well, I think, and I can relate because I'm a lot in the same in one area. He's not the fleetest of guys. He doesn't get around as quickly, but he gets to where he's got to be on time, and he reads plays defensively as well as anybody that I've seen read the game. Being in the same room with him for a long time, like he knows guys.
Yeah. He
knows defensemen when they go back. He knows the defensemen that don't want to rim the puck, that want to make a play. So he goes at those guys differently. He knows where to go. I don't think I've ever played with somebody that watches as much hockey and studies it as much as he did. Gotcha. He knew every play from the night before all the time on games, and he's just a student of the game and a guy that understands all the subtle, I guess, intricacies of guys. So he's just an intelligent player, and then goes to where he's going to be. And then he's unassuming. You think you got him beat, and he's not quick. So he doesn't, he's got that long reach that he's able to utilize as well. So, and he's dedicated to it. That's for sure.
Yeah, his hand eye is unreal. Well, just that goal in the playoffs, he knocks it out of the air.
Yep.
He's got some special skills. No, it's crazy. It's year in, year out. He's right there with takeaways, and it's tough for some people to explain that. But yeah, no, I think that's all the reasons you said there.
Yeah, I think if Stoner gets 80 games, 75 games plus this year with Patrice Bergeron being gone and not getting the automatic first pick every time, I think you have a different look at the Selke Trophy, and I think Stoner's name's in the top 3.
Yeah. Hey,
but Mitch Marner's name keeps coming up time and time again with the Marner Selke Trophy candidate.
Give me a break.
Great good player.
The one thing about Mark Stone is takeaways. He also uses a boat oar as a
stick. Yeah, he does. Yeah.
And he's got that giant knob that he uses, like that knob at the end of his stick. I'm like, how do you get your hand around that thing?
It's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. He anyway, when I looked up those numbers about takeaways, and I knew that he didn't play that much this year, and I was like, he is so far ahead of everybody. And then the hits on top of that, like he's just a complete player. So the one thing I remember, after Karl got traded, there was talk about who should be the captain, and then it sat dormant until they gave it to Brady. And I always thought Mark Stone should have been the captain of the Ottawa Senators.
I'd say
while he was here, but
I think those of us in the room. Yeah, those of us in the room didn't think there would be any other pick or discussion. It should have been him. So
you could see it.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say day one you could see it, but you could see it very early on with Stoner that he just had all those, Guy Boucher words, the intangibles. But it's the way he carries himself, the way he shows up every day. So they got a good one in.
By the way, Bob, he is pounding the golf ball right now.
Dude, he hammers the golf ball, hammers it. I mean,
well, that par 4, he put it right in front of the green. Like his carry is about 300. Like it's nuts.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean,
so
he was
saying
consistent. If he doesn't get I remember one time in that same tournament, I finally I hit a good driver, but I I was like, that has to win. There's nobody behind me at this point in the day. I was the longest drive, and there was only 2 rounds behind me or something like that. And Stoner was one of them, and he beat me by like 4 yards. And I was livid because I was like, maybe he'll miss the fairway. Maybe I'll finally win this damn long ball contest. But he's just automatic. It's an automatic 300 something yards.
Crazy
every time.
Because Alfie was playing too, and he hits it far.
Yeah,
like he hits it really far. Stoner's further.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. He's
crazy.
He's probably the best driver of the golf, or the Getzlaff's up there as well. But Stoner hits the golf ball.
Our game, he won that. By the way, that game was won on the first tee. He's like, I've only played a couple times this year.
Yeah.
Because I'm usually a 2, but more like a 6.
Well, it shot 80 though, you know. So
yeah. But showed up when it counted. Every 6th hole, he birdied.
That's what he knows what he's doing.
Mm-hmm. All right, we've got to, because we're going to do this at the top of the show, but Gavin brought in Mark Stone too early. We got to get to our ad reads.
Let's go.
So he will be getting written up at the end of the show. As always, our show brought to you by Betano. But go to betano.ca, download the award-winning app, and start to get into all the NHL futures, which are online right now. The amazing world of sports is always with you. At Betano, hundreds of betting options for events and try same-game parlays with Bet Builder. Also live in-game betting, the most competitive odds on the market. Plus, I think they're getting into pickleball soon, so Bobby will be able to tell you all the odds on that. Betano, the game starts now. Bob, there you go.
All right. I won't be able to tell anybody pickleball odds. There will be one in the backyard for no other reason than I like to work out on it. But this show is always brought to you by our partners at BEI, Bonisher Homes. BonisherHomes.com. Their number is not up here. I don't know this board very well, but they have a variety of floor plans. Apparently, they're putting a whole city up somewhere outside of Ottawa, and you got many options to choose from. Prices starting as low as $500,000. BEI, Bonisher Homes, the difference that a Bonisher home makes. Slow down in construction zones, please. Listen up and
listen.
Yeah. Oh, free Hockey Friday. That's it.
No,
no, you don't get free Ice Friday if I read that board that got thrown up.
You can't combine the two. I don't think. I don't know that. I think that's a penalty.
I've been doing the other one for so long.
I know. That's why I'm trying to mix things up for you.
All right.
By the way, the subdivision is the Wren subdivision by BEI, just an hour west of Canada. You can give them a shout. Anyway, BonisherHomes.com. Now, Yorkie, the other day you brought up this, we should do Stanley Cup odds sometime. We haven't done it. July 31st, we did it, but I went ahead and gave it to you again today. The odds have changed a little, but as always, the Vegas Golden Knights with Colorado, there's 4 now that are the odds-on favorites right now to win the Stanley Cup. Colorado, Vegas, Toronto, Carolina. Ottawa did move up a bit. There was a couple teams that dropped backwards a little bit, but Ottawa still middle of the pack.
14th. Wow.
How the hell does Carolina make this list at the same odds as those 3 teams?
And they've been there all the time.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
They do have some success, I guess, in the regular season.
Well, I remember Brindamore, he goes after they lost. He's like, we should have won. We should have won. He was in shock. Remember that?
Yeah.
Poor guy. Who was the goalie in that series that stood on his head against them, Wally? When Brindamore, how am I not remembering this?
This isn't the now you're gonna forget, but I want to say the Islander game, but it's not the Islander series because they weren't in it.
No, they weren't in the series. It was.
I know. It's not New Jersey.
Doesn't.
I might be throwing a couple bucks down on the Death Stars.
Yeah, you like the Stars?
1,400. I like the Stars. I like what they've done. I'd be putting them in the mix.
They're better.
Yeah, they're better.
Yep,
they weren't that far off.
So if you are Montreal, Philly, Anaheim, San Jose, and you're a player on that team going into the year, and I'll say veteran, and there's just no chance. What do you feel like?
having a good first part of the season, so you get traded to a contender.
Yep.
Hopefully in a tax-friendly state.
That's about it, eh?
Win-win.
Yeah. I'll try to keep a positive attitude till November 5th.
Like, are you on the phone with your agent?
No.
Oh, a lot of guys are just happy to be playing hockey.
You never know. Like, everybody is. You'd be surprised, at least when I was playing, how many guys don't listen to the outside noise.
It's very true.
You get to training camp and you're with the guys. You're so happy to be back. You miss that, and you get back into the law. And unless you're a guy that really doesn't like it, but I played with very few guys that actually hate where they are. You're in the NHL. It's a great life. Like anybody that hates it needs their head examined.
Yep. There's no bad days in the league.
It really, it's so. Yeah, I people make too much out of that.
Carolina was swept by Florida.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was Florida. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Bobrovsky was unbelievable that series.
That's right.
Can't believe I forgot that.
So anyway, a couple of quick Sens notes. One, they hired an analytics full-time guy.
Saw that.
That's a bonus.
Good hire.
Finally, they've been using a part-time guy forever, and it's just this is a good move for sure. Now, Yorkie, I want to get to the other thing, as you're a part owner, about Andlauer. The executive has finally approved him to go ahead.
Yep.
So it's basically what? Now they just got to sign the 800 pages of paperwork?
I would think so. Like it's unanimously approved. It's got lawyer work has to be done, some more paperwork. And what did we say? Middle of September, it's probably done, like probably right before training camp at some time. It's official and off we go.
It's exciting because you can see
it's great.
You can feel it coming. There's a lot of hype around this season, despite the fact there hasn't been a lot of news with player signings or whatever, Shane Pinto or all that stuff. But you can feel the level of excitement finally starting to build here.
Well, you look at the team, and at least on paper right now, there's not really any holes. Maybe a bottom six forward, but we'll see.
Well, there's a hole if they don't have Shane Pinto.
Yeah, for sure. That'll get sorted out one way or the other. They're going to have to move somebody. You keep hearing Matthew Joseph's name, but who knows? We'll have to wait and see on that. But I just read today, too, that Forsberg's 100%. So Anton Forsberg is 100% ready to go. Korpisalo. I'm really intrigued to see how the goaltenders start off the season, because with any team, that's the key. It's goaltending. If they get good goaltending, they're going to be a playoff team. On paper, they don't have any holes.
They don't. This is and I don't want to get into the situation because I know nothing about it, but is Alex Formenton just a player that never will be back?
Crazy, eh? It's crazy.
He needs to get cleared before he comes back.
The NHL, so this keeps getting pushed back with everyone's waiting to hear what happens from
the wall side.
Yeah. So the NHL so what we've all been told is the Senators have to wait for this to get sorted out, and the league will give them the yay or nay either way. So it's a difficult situation.
If he gets cleared, does he go back to his original contract status where he's a restricted?
He's RFA.
He's an RFA. The Sens still hold his rights.
Okay. So everything just kind of got placed on a freeze.
Yeah. And when you look at the type of player that Ottawa needs, it's him.
I know. It's exactly what he would bring to the table. Yeah.
And he's young.
I would love to see him on a line with Pinto.
He'd be great.
He'd
be great. He was just you could see when players are about to pop, like he's just ready to pop. So yeah, I'm interested to see what happens with all this, with the whole fiasco.
What's the latest time frame on that? Is there any?
There isn't one.
No, so it's gonna be a while, obviously.
Here's my own personal take: is I don't know that he gets re-signed, and the only reason I say that is because every other player that I know of, for the most part, has been playing. Now I know they're under contract; that makes it a bit different. Yeah, he was under the RFA, but I believe there is stuff that has kept them from signing him. Because listen, it's the National Hockey League, and if they can have a chance to win, every team does whatever it can to win, for the most part, right? And so if they could get him in the lineup, I think he would be. That's the only reason I say that.
Yeah, I don't know one way or the other.
No, but Yorkie, if you have a chance to add a player to your lineup that can help you win,
sure you do. Yeah, for sure.
You put him in. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
For sure.
Last thing before we go, and I do. Well, actually, there's two, but maybe I may have to skip one. Is I think it's Metallica. Yes. As a player, how big of a boost is it to hear that there's a new owner? I'm sure it doesn't play that big of an impact when it comes to training camp. And I'll say maybe not training camp, but there is a mental boost when it comes to getting a new owner. I'll say with the pedigree that comes with a type of Michael Landauer.
I mean, Yorkie, I can not in the room. Nobody cares, right? Do you think?
I think with this particular situation, with how Ottawa's group, I would say guys are talking about it. I don't know. I'll tell you, what was really happy is the alumni.
Yes.
Our box just got upgraded.
Nice. There you go.
Are you moving down from the 400 level?
Yeah, 200 level, man.
Wow.
There you go.
And I'll tell you one thing about Michael Landauer, and I've been told this. I don't mind sharing this. He is the only guy that when they did the betting for the teams that asked about the alumni.
No way.
The only one. Yeah. So he's dialed in. Like he understands.
He gets it.
He understands the whole dynamics of what happened here in Ottawa. Like there was a generation of fans that were left behind here, and you can't deny that. And I just think there's going to be a lot of momentum, because what you alluded to, Wally, there's genuine excitement here with the ownership, and if this team couple that with Michael Landauer, and if the team wins, this team's going to go to another level off the ice and on the ice. It's going to be really cool.
Neat.
Finally, we'll make this quick, and because I know you guys know it's in the show. Austin Matthews signed a 4-year contract at $13.25 per year, make him the highest paid player per year. I looked at, now you could do for another $75,000 and get Tim Stützle and Drake Batherson, or you could take Stützle and Chychrun under the deal. You could do Josh Norris and Drake Batherson or Tarasenko and have money left over. Would you guys take Tim Stützle and Drake Batherson over Austin Matthews?
All day long.
Yeah, I don't think it's even a question. I would. Absolutely. Yeah.
I think it's going to get to the point where Timmy is right now. And Timmy's like, look what he's done already at such a young age. And they're both center icemen. Timmy was killing penalties last year and doing a pretty good job. Matthews is a pure shooter. He's great in traffic. He's great in small space. He's got one of the best releases, but I just watch how Tim Stützle plays the game. To me, the best players in the league are able to rag the puck and make something out of nothing. Like Stützle's got that. Does Matthews have that? Yeah, for sure, but not to the level that I think Stützle. Like Stützle's edge work and skating is, to me, much more elite than Matthews. And the game now is all about skating. I'm not saying Stützle's a better player right now, but his projection, because of the skating, to me, has a higher ceiling. I really believe that.
Yeah. And I'm not going to, I tend to agree, and I won't get into the specifics or comparing the two players, because they're both,
it's tough.
They're both elite.
That's the argument, right? I think you can argue Austin Matthews may be top 5 player in the league, top 10 for sure.
Yes. Yeah.
Regular season player.
Timmy's on the way there.
Yes, but he's not there yet.
He might even be sneaking into the 10, 12 area. I don't know. But for me, when you're posing that question, I'm taking 2/3 of a line as opposed to one, because you got, just say you take Timmy and Drake, you have an elite, and then you have a right-handed winger. So I'm good. I'll take the right-handed winger all day.
I'll throw this one back at you, Wally.
Yeah.
Take in everything into account. Salary, I'll take Stützle 1-for-1 over Matthews at 8 and change, whatever he makes, compares to Matthews 13. It's
Deal.
Close.
I would take that.
Close.
Yeah.
It affords me the luxury of getting more players on my team which is basically the question you're posing here. I
think the two best contracts in hockey are going to be him and Jack Hughes for a long time.
Yeah. I'm taking Stützle over Hughes too, by the way.
So
yeah.
Okay. So if you are the GM, if you're Brad Treliving, how do you get into having to give up a $13 million a year player then?
It's crazy. It's like, I was talking to some guys about this other day. The NHL now, it's like high stakes gambling. You draft your players, you draft them so high, you have to keep them, and you're betting that they're going to do well. Like you're basically right now, you pushed your chips into the table and you're all in on Austin Matthews. And so far, not a lot's gotten done in the playoffs. And he's won the Hart. He's scored a lot of goals. He's a great player, but you're pot committed now. So it's got to be nerve-wracking being a GM. Like like so much now is based on your player development and who you draft. Like you better not be wrong, because once you draft these guys, you're married to them. Mm-hmm. So that's why they're doing all this psychological testing, so much work. But man, it's sometimes you miss. But then listen, Matthews is a great player. He's an awesome player.
Yes.
But I don't know. We'll see. Maybe this is the year Toronto breaks out, but so far I wouldn't take that bet.
Okay. And so when you bring up player development, it's interesting to me because Carolina no longer has an AHL affiliate.
Yeah.
So they've lost Chicago. Chicago's now independent. How do you do that in today's NHL? How do you not have a development program?
Crazy. I'd have one.
We have to.
You need control of your players. Like you want to be able to have that close relationship with the coach and go down there. The Sens have a perfect relationship here. Belleville's close, and it's the ideal situation.
Yep, very much so.
Yep. Well, Carolina had it. They had, I think Raleigh was their AHL team, and then Greensboro or something was their East Coast League. They were all really close. Anyway, I just
very odd.
Something, it doesn't make sense. Anyway, boys, I appreciate your time as always. Guess what? I'm going to bring you guys back Thursday.
All right.
Don't look so excited.
Thursday at 3, I believe, right?
You listen. I'm just here to facilitate you guys.
I just work here.
I
got Thursday at 2 on my calendar, so that's what we agreed on, I guess.
Perfect. Okay.
And
See
then
you Thursday. Oh,
are we observing Labor Day on the 4th on Monday, or are we coming back Monday?
No, I think we observe it with a show.
Okay.
But I haven't talked to Yorkie, so hang on.
All right. I'll move some tea times around.
Okay.
Some shuffling.
Yeah.
We might have to get back to you. All right. See you Thursday. We'll deal with the rest later.
Later,
Thanks, everybody.
boys.
Coming in Hot is brought to you by Botano.ca. Please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel to never miss an episode.